Happy 20th anniversary, Pokémon! You are now old enough to drink in your home country. It seems like yesterday that you were doing a full media blitz with toys, books, trading cards, creepy commercials that have not aged well, and so much more. Digimon was a viable rival, Kids WB was still around. It was a different era. Some things from your childhood do stand the test of time, and that endurance is rare, especially when looking back at all the franchises that tried to recapture lightning in a bottle. It's still happening now, but you, Pokémon, you are the juggernaut, honey. While those days of utter pop culture dominance are over, Pokémon is still here, and it has left its mark on the world through the anime and the games. I love Pokémon. A couple of my first scripted videos on my channel were about Pokémon, and those certainly won't be the last. So in honor of Pokémon's 20th anniversary, I'm going to chronicle my history with Pokémon. Grab your Pokédex and put on your running shoes. We're off to catch 'em all. Long ago, in the age of boxy computer monitors, I was introduced to Pokémon by kids at school. I remember that as a way to prove I was cool, I had to name at least 20 Pokémon. Oh, that was so quaint. After that, I saw Pokémon everywhere, and I wanted a piece. It's a testament to masterful marketing that they turned a glitchy game from Japan into a pop culture behemoth. The first episode I ever watched was a Chansey Operation. You know, the one where they go to a human hospital when the Pokémon Center's too far away, and thus began a love affair. There were some periods where I didn't bother to keep up watching the anime. I pretty much skipped the second half of Sinnoh and all of Unova. I didn't get back into watching regularly until Kalos started. The anime was great back in the day as a kid, but now I watch it for the kitsch factor. Let's keep it real. I was introduced to the trading cards not too long after starting to watch the show by some kids in the neighborhood. I bought the cards up until Johto. I don't quite remember why I stopped. Oh wait, yes, I do. Good gaga, that was a money pit. And now for the games, which take up less room than the trading cards. The first Pokemon game I owned was Pokemon Gold on the Game Boy Color. I snatched up the other Generation 1 and Generation 2 games quite quickly. With the help of Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2, I trade a lot of Pokemon with myself. Speaking of Pokemon Stadium, I love those minigames. I think all of us did. My favorite was the Lickitung one from the first game. I loved trading and finding information in Oak's lab, the Pokemon library, and playing the minigames more than battling, particularly because the AI in the Pokemon Stadium games is brutal. And then Generation 3 started. This was the generation that rocked the fanbase and came at the peak of the Pokemon hype backlash, but I still love Pokemon and bought Pokemon Sapphire without second thought. I should mention that I sucked at Pokemon back then. I roleplayed as an aspiring gym leader specializing in my favorite type, the grass type. That was fun, though tactically it was a terrible idea, especially when I was a kid who didn't have any idea what I was doing. Grass types, after all, have lots of common weaknesses. I also quit before being the Elite Four because of it. I didn't become the champion legitimately in-game until Pokemon Leaf Green, when I finally played with a diverse team and level grinded with the help of the Versus Tracker and lots of patience. Then I got Pokemon Emerald, and that was it for the Pokemon games for a while. As I mentioned in my Mario Kart 8 review, I've had to take a break from game series I like, usually because I don't have the right console. I never owned a GameCube or a DS, so I didn't play Generations 4 and 5 until I got a 3DS when Generation 6 started. Once I got that 3DS, I marathoned through Pokemon Platinum, Soul Silver, White, and Black 2. While I didn't play the games during that try spell, I didn't forget about Pokemon and continued to play around with them in my creative work. I still do. I love featuring Pokemon pictures and find inspiration from the games and even the anime. Pokemon inspired many of us. Since I'm sappy, when I learned about the Pokemon On Me feature, I was so jazzed. Even after all these years, being able to pet Pokemon and feed them and see their jovial reactions makes me squeeze so much. I love playing the Pokemon games, I'm sure Sugar gonna keep playing them. Let's raise our glass and congratulate that monstrous fad that proved to have spectacular longevity and cultural impact. 20 years and still going strong. Here's to you, Pokémon, and to your future. What's your Pokémon story? Let me know in the comments. I encourage all of you to share your memories of Pokémon. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel and check out my other content, and follow me on Twitter at GamingGenji for updates on new videos and live streams. Keep catching 'em all!